And we are back with a very dramatic theme, which is the NFL theme. But hello, it is 9:21 in the morning, and if you just turned in, I am spring like the season, and I'm here with Brian Walsh. Hello, Brian.
How's it going?
How's it going with you, Brian?
It's going all right.
You're listening to Everybody Loves Spring in the Morning with...
Twice the news and half the feelings.
And minus Kenny for once again this week. So Brian right now is going to take it away with some news, because I know he told me he got some good news, so let me hear it, Brian.
Right. Christian Bale will not be playing Steve Jobs in an upcoming movie. This coming after Leonardo da Vinci.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, my. Off to a great start this morning, but Leonardo DiCaprio said he would not be playing Steve Jobs. Christian Bale being the second one, and I heard they're looking at Matt Damon now.
Yep, that's right. Christian Bale did drop out of the movie, like you just said, and the person who is doing the movie, it's written by Aaron Sorkin, which I've heard is actually a really, really good writer.
Yeah.
I can't remember right now what he's done, but the movie's being directed by Danny Boyle. He's not necessarily a director I'm familiar with. But before, Leonardo DiCaprio was signed on for the film, but he decided to drop out of it because he's taking a break after a film he's doing with director Alfonso Gonzalez. So I don't really know who they're going to decide on now.
Why have another Steve Jobs movie, though? Didn't they just have one with Ashton Kutcher?
They did, but the one with Ashton Kutcher, I really can't with this music. The one with Ashton Kutcher, it was mainly his, his early life, and I think it wasn't received the right way, only because they said that Steve Jobs was perceived as somewhat of a bleep hole, and they didn't want to see, like, Apple's creator like that. Like, so I guess now that they saw him as like a young person, now they're going to show him as an older person and at his prime, I guess.
It's probably still not going to do as well.
I mean, it's hard to say. It could be. Well, I can't picture Leonardo DiCaprio ever playing
Steve Jobs.
Like, that's just a weird. And Christian Bale, I think visually, yes, I could definitely see. But if you had to choose an actor, who would you choose?
I don't know. That's
right.
First, I think
they just need to drop this whole biopic thing. 'Cause I know biopics are like supposed to be cool and whatever, but
this is like the biopic.
Drop the Steve Jobs. Just drop it.
Asked for.
You know, it's not a big deal.
Nobody wants another Steve Jobs biopic. We got like 2, I think, already, and that's more.
Yeah,
than
I think that's more than enough. And according to sources, Bale, he wasn't 100% on board with it. Like, he was like flip-flopping back and forth. And he just decided, like, he wasn't right for the part. He just decided to withdraw from it altogether because I guess he realized this isn't something he wants. Like, how do you go from Batman to Steve Jobs?
Yeah.
No, but put Ben Affleck and then replace Christian Bale as the new Batman. I mean, even though, like, putting him back in his role. But whatever, we can keep going on with that.
Russia has failed to show up to a meeting planning the 2016 Nuclear Security Summit.
What?
Yeah. I guess things are getting complicated.
Ooh. Russia's like that little child that is just like, I'm gonna be bad today. Why not? Did they Kim Jong-un from North Korea, he did reappear again, I think, right? Yeah, that's right.
A few weeks ago.
Had to ask.
Although he was walking with a cane.
He was.
Anything.
Well, I don't know what happened to him. Not that he even cares about what I'm doing with my life, so.
Yeah. Israel is set to reopen the Gaza border today.
Wow.
Border crossing while Egypt remains closed.
Wow.
So.
Is this like before Ebola? Why are they closing the borders? Do you know?
No, that was when they had over the summer, the little conflict they had.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So they're set to reopen the Gaza border crossing. So nice. I guess that's a good sign.
Yeah, that is a good sign.
Conflict's going down a little bit more. China has unveiled a drone-fighting laser cannon with the range of 1.2 miles.
What? That's ridiculous.
That's the kind of thing you would, like, as a 5-year-old me, would want to hear. Like, oh, God, a laser cannon?
That is so cool.
Next, we're going to have flying cars.
You know what? I think since the 50s, we've been waiting for flying cars, and we still haven't gotten it. Like, we're about, how many years later if you were born in 1950? I want to say 64, right? Okay, so you've been waiting 64 years for some flying cars. Let's get to it, people. Do you know the guy who runs Virgin Mobile? What's his name?
Yeah, they had like a spacecraft.
He has a car that runs on water.
Really? Well, did you hear? I think he had like this little space plane in a way. It broke up in air and one of the pilots died over the weekend.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It was supposed to be one of those planes that, like, as you're going, you get, like, zero gravity.
Yeah.
You could float around. It broke up, and pilot died.
Well, that's horrible. Brian,
Yeah.
like, why do you have to be the bearer of bad news?
Yeah, you brought up.
Like,
Virgin
I brought
Mobile
up
guy.
something, like, so nice and fun, and you go, oh, someone died in a spacecraft. But you know
Well,
what's
it's
funny?
because my deep voice.
Yeah,
that's
your
why I'm
deep voice just
happy.
makes everything sound so morbid.
I'm not. I can never sound happy, so nobody can be happy.
No one could be happy because I'm Brian Walsh.
Blah 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 blah.
But what was I gonna say? No, because I was watching the show. Oh my god, it's something about rich people. Well, isn't everything about rich people? But this show, it was like showing how obnoxiously rich they are and how they're like they're billionaires with all this money. And one of them was I can't remember his name. I have to Google it. The owner for Virgin Mobile, who he has all these ridiculous things for no reason at all. Hold on, I'm Googling it as I'm talking.
I like watching those shows, but at the same time, I hate watching
Richard
it.
Branson, there we go. He was like doing, he was doing a commercial for, it must be Virgin Mobile. That would make sense.
His company.
Right, that would actually make sense.
That would make sense.
But this man has an island, I think.
Yeah.
Right? This man has a spacecraft. He also has people lined up to go to space with him. Like, it's like people like Beyonce, Justin Bieber. Like, why are you like doing a crew? Just go on the spaceship, go to space. Like, you're putting people in risk. That's like when Lance Bass wanted to like go and go into space. Do you remember that? And I think he was denied. Like, they literally told him no.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
All right. Well, I could keep going with that, but tell me what else is going on in the world.
Tom Magliozzi of NPR's Car Talk has died at the age of 77 from complications from Alzheimer's disease.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's I think it was a long-running show from what I was reading. It like very popular. As the name would suggest, it's a car show. So yeah, it was pretty sad hearing that.
That is really sad.
The security guard who rode in an elevator with President Obama while armed says his firing was unjust.
What do you mean unjust?
So he's a hired bodyguard, and it was like this story that Obama was in an elevator, but Secret Service was not with him. And the guy with him was a bodyguard who had a gun on him. Like, as he says, his job, requires him to, they give him the gun. And because he was in the elevator with a gun, they fired him. Because he was that. And he was saying, like, one of the worst things is now news stations are saying he has a criminal record. And he's just saying, like, it's ruined his life.
That just sounds horrible.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even hear about that. Like, this is the first time hearing about it.
Yeah, I feel bad for the guy. He was just doing his job, and his life's messed up.
I love the way Brian concludes everything. That was kind of messed up.
Yeah, no, his life's messed up. He was saying, like, he's ruined.
Yeah, no.
How would you describe it? His life?
No, I agree with you. It is.
For the worse.
Definitely. That's the one that you were telling me about, that the roommate got jealous, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
No, I think different story.
This is a different story? Why
Yeah.
is Obama always being involved in something like this?
It's just, like, easy.
It's because it's Obama.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
So the World Health Organization leader says the cure to Ebola is delayed only because drug industries drive for profit. Something I've heard a lot.
So they're saying that because
like
there's no drugs being delivered because they need money, like the drug
it's
industry.
It's more like the drug industry wouldn't make as much money if the cure for Ebola was made.
Wow. Well, you know what?
Like
when you put it like that, I could see how that makes sense. But when so many people's lives are at risk, that's just ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I've heard there's like they're saying there could have been a cure to cancer by now, but drug industry.
There's a lot. I don't want to say conspiracy theories, but usually like people who like believe in conspiracies and like thrive on it definitely do say like there's like cure for AIDS already and there's cures for cancer, but they're just withholding it from us because if they don't withhold it, like they won't have money to like constantly like we need them. Let me see how I'm gonna rephrase this. Like if we don't need them anymore, they're not gonna get money.
Yeah.
So that's why they don't give us the cure, which is it true? I want to believe it's not true. I want to believe like the government's not doing this to me and other people just to get money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, little Redick.
So Hyundai and Kia are being fined $100 million over misleading gas mileage figures. Yeah.
Why?
Because they're misleading.
What's so misleading about it, though?
Maybe they'd say like, oh, you get 50 miles a gallon. And then when you
get like 20.
When you're getting 20 miles a gallon and you're like, oh, this isn't the gas mileage I was promised.
That's so ridiculous though. Like I just started driving, maybe because like I'm a new driver, but I genuinely don't pay attention much to that.
Nobody really does until you're auntie. That's...
Brian, why do you sound so morbid?
That's not morbid. That's
nobody
like you don't pay
empty,
attention to the gas.
So no one notices you're there anymore. That's so like. But fun. Talking about being morbid, I'm on newsfeed as we're talking, and I like to find like random news as usual. So one of the news I found was this app predicts when you're gonna die, because who doesn't want to know when you're gonna die?
That's
Do you want to know, Brian?
Answered.
Right, that's a question I don't want answered. But now there's an app for it. You thought that there wasn't an app for anything? Guess what? Now we could find out when you die. So we're gonna
find that out.
Okay, so there's a new iOS app, which if you don't know what iOS is, that's Apple, called wait. Oh no, it is called Deadline. It's called Deadline. It predicts the date and time of your death based on your data from Apple's Health Kit. So I think if you have the new iOS 8 update, you could put down all your health information, and I think you put it down there just so in case, like, let's say someone picks, like, you got into an accident, like, they have all your health information set and ready to go.
But do they have the password to your phone?
I don't think you need a password for it. Like, you could just immediately get to it in case of an emergency. Yeah. So if you feed the app basic information about your medical history and lifestyle, it spits out the date that might just appear on your tombstone, along with a countdown clock that lets you watch as the seconds evaporate into regret. I'm reading this straight off the page. Who says
terrible.
that? That is ridiculous. So the logo is a silhouetted dead bird with its legs in the air. The app's objectives are anything but morbid. How is that not morbid if it's a bird on its back? This is what it says. This is the description for it. Consider this a way to motivate yourself to be healthier. Although it goes on a hedge that its prediction is nothing more than its statistical estimation, a regular doctor visit is a good idea. So I guess they're trying to say, here's your death time. Please go to a doctor. Thank you, Deadline. Thank you.
Now I'll put it off to like the last minute.
Oh, so apparently there's other apps about it that exist. It's the only one that claims that it's like it has its own home screen widget. Okay, great. That offers quick access to your countdown. So in case you wanted to know, like, it's Tuesday, 4 o'clock, you want to see how much time you have left in your life, go check out Deadline. Why not? Facebook status it. Why not? All right?
Let everyone know.
Oh, but the good news is that the app will extend your predicted lifespan if you adopt healthier habits. Its approach to motivation that suits both users who respond to negative reinforcement and those who need a little bit of cheerleading to get to the gym. Are you joking right now? Are you serious? No. That was just... There's a lot of apps that I find ridiculous, but this is probably one of them.
Yeah.
Like, no. This is like... I'm a gym rat. I go to the gym a lot. How often? I work out like it's no one's business. Right now I only work out 3 days a week, but I work at a gym. And usually, like, if you work out a lot, they say you're supposed to record what you eat so you know you're having the appropriate calories for the day, because if you don't, if you feel hungry, your muscles are eaten and whatever have you. Like, I know I'm not saying it the correct way, but most health professionals will say, like, that's exactly what happens. So you record everything into your MyFitnessPal, all your food, right? So this is the only thing I'm thinking. So I record everything I'm doing just to see how much longer I'm going to live. So according to Deadline, I'm probably going to live to like 1,000 because I eat as healthy as possible. Most of the time I work out all the time, so I should be fine. Brian might go any day because
Thanks. Brian, you're so morbid. You're going to die any day. Thanks.
So horrible.
That really just made my Tuesday morning. You're gonna go any day, Brian.
I honestly, I had to do
Please,
it.
tell me why you think that, please.
I'm so sorry, Brian.
Enlighten me.
No, I was just joking. Brian. It was a joke. How often do you work out, Brian?
Let's just not talk about that.
See? So Deadline's gonna say you probably have a few hours left. No, let me stop. Do you have any news for me, Brian? Is that it?
See, a man dressed as a Fox News reporter on Halloween was attacked in California.
Oh my God, why?
Because I guess someone doesn't like Fox News.
That is, I mean, like, there's not a lot of people who like Fox News, honestly. But, that's crazy. You should have, what's his name? You should have Kenny find out that he dressed up like that. Because that would be so funny.
Yeah.
Anything else happen?
See, a pianist has asked the Washington Post...
I'm sorry, the way you just said that, it sounded like something else for a minute. Yeah. I was like, Brian, how could you say that? Joe's right in front of us.
Yeah.
But continue.
Don't worry. The guy who plays the piano asked the Washington Post to Remove a concert review under the EU's right to be forgotten.
Wow.
You ever hear this? It's like
didn't.
If I was a citizen in Europe and the Ireland Times said like, oh, Brian Walsh is an idiot for doing this, I can go to them and say like, hey, can you take that off? I have the right to be forgotten. I don't want that article around to hurt me. But
so weird.
Thing is, Washington Post is an American newspaper who have the freedom of the press.
Yep.
So they're probably just going to laugh this off. And now, like, they made another story about how he's asking them to take it down. It's what they call the Streisand effect.
I want to see what's going to happen out of this. It'll probably be a build-up, I think.
Yeah, that's like the thing's called there's something called the Streisand effect.
Never heard of it.
It's, let's say there's something you don't like about you on the internet and you make a big deal about it. Like this guy's now making a big deal. He wants the bad concert review taken off. Well, nobody's probably heard of the concert review until now that he's asking for it to be removed. So now everyone's going to be looking it up.
See, I love your news today, Brian. Your news was good. Is that it? Because our NFL theme like completely stopped.
Yeah, I got one more story.
Ooh, he has one more. So I'm going to go.
Might hurt a lot of people, but every song by Taylor Swift has been removed from Spotify.
What? You know what's crazy? I can't stand Taylor Swift. All right, so I had to do a DJ thing Sunday. For those of you who don't know, we had like a huge open house here at Iona, and they put me to DJ because obviously my music is like popping. So I was trying to find I was trying to be like diverse because like obviously not everyone listens to the music I listen to. I tend to listen to a lot of like rap and R&B and hip hop, whatever. So I was looking for Taylor Swift, and one of the songs, oh my god, it was like this is how much I don't care about this girl. I'm trying to go on YouTube to find it. Every single one I pressed, it was just like, this has been flagged for copyright. I'm like, how did she get there so fast? What is she, like whoever her people are, YouTube, they are on point.
They have like a system on YouTube.
Is that what it is?
It's like terrible.
Oh my god. It was difficult. Even the ones with 300 views was like, skirt, no, bye.
Yep. So, her and her record company had every song she made removed from Spotify.
That's nuts. Why? If this is like, if her album's out.
Yeah, it's more just about how like, they're not getting that many album sales. So they figured it's because...
oh, that's not my fault that you're not that good an artist.
No, she recently said Spotify is like piracy.
How?
Which...
That's like... Oh, so what if it's on Pandora? Is that piracy?
Well, I think it's because like Pandora has to pay artists a certain amount.
Oh, Spotify doesn't?
I'm not sure. I just know like on Spotify and Pandora you don't make that much money.
Huh. Didn't know. All right, well... Since that's all we have for news, I think we're going to take a quick break, but I need Brian to hum while I go get the liner ready. Hum for me, Brian.
I feel so useful.
Keep a humming. Keep a humming. Keep a humming.